was one of my students at in Hilo, and he thought he had connections to the Lindsey, but he actually has connections to the Liana. So I saw the Liana family last night. They're going to have a reunion next year, so he'll be joining them. Anyway, getting back to Kukuwi Lama, the let's see how oh, I didn't do this. So hang on. Not too much. And so I wanted just to show that student went to State Archives and he got the negative, which is called a glass plate. And it was in the Kawana Nakor collection. And Kawana Nakor is David Kawana Nakor, Prince David Kawana Nakor, the Ohana to King Kalakaua. And also we know Prince Jonah Kuhio Kalaniana Ole, who is the brother, but they went by those two names. And of course, Prince Kuhio was the person who got the established the Hawaiian Homes Commission in 1921. But this was in the Kawana Nakor collection, and ID unknown. But if you notice, that is Kuku Wilama. He's like 20 years to me when I look at him now. I mean, there, that photo, and I don't know how to do this. Connection to, that's it. To that. It's the same guy, the same clothing, the same photographer. In those days, I was told they would come to different places, and maybe they were commissioned to come and take photos of certain people or people who paid for it, set up the top podium or whatever the cloth, studio with on the other photo you'll see the studio setting. But notice that this is Kukuwi Lama. This is Kukuwi Lama, the same that you see on the wall over there. And that's the studio setup. The flowers have kind of dried out. The student went right into the vase and saw the vase was from 1886 or so. He's trying to figure out maybe some period, what time was this photo taken. And Kukuwi Lama didn't quite make it 60 years old, right? He passed away. I know he died in 1906.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to make this connection to this Kawana Nakor collection. Now we all know that, well, I don't know, but you know that Mana, for example, when the kingdom was overthrown, Princess Kaiulani wanted to get away from all of that negative stuff in Honolulu. When it had just overthrown the kingdom, she came up to Mana because that was an area where our ali'i at that time, the ruling Kalakauas, Princess Kaiulani, Likelike, even Princess Keilikolani, all of them, Queen Emma, they all went up to Mana to enjoy the country and get away from that kind of life. And the Parker family hosted them. And the Parker family depended on assistance, people who knew the land, and Kukuwi Lama was one of them. So I wanted, of course, you heard the story of Kukuwi Lama taking Queen Emma up to Mauna Kea. And this is how it's all being connected. This is the young Kukuwi Lama, and this is the older Kukuwi Lama. Now, he has been identified in several publications, one as John Stevens, another as Harry Nalelehu Puri. But when my student saw this picture and he saw the other picture, he put the two faces together. And he said, "Isn't that your great-great-grandfather?" I said, that doesn't look like John Stevens, because we have a picture of John Stevens. I'm sure the family of the Purdy, Harry and Alene, who are Purdy, should have a picture. But when I go online and check their genealogy website, they're using this older man's picture as their kupuna. But when I saw the faces of these two individuals, that to me is kukuwila. And then when I continued, he gathered other few pictures from the Kuana Nakua collection. And here we have Kukuwi Lama smoking a pipe. I can maybe bring this in a focus closer so you can notice. But they are at Mana. And Mana, as you notice in the back there's a fancy gate. And this is a little corner of the house. There is Prince Kuhio Kalaniana Ole with Princess Kahanu, his wife. The woman with the blanket is John Parker II's wife, Hanai. They didn't have any children. They adopted children, in the family, and this is how it came down to Thelma Parker eventually. And then the taller guy with the white scarf around his neck with the hat is Lumahehe Parker. Those are the only people we can identify, and then of course the other people I don't know exactly. Of course, in those days they would come by steamship, quite high, get on a carriage like this, and come back up to Mana. Kukui Wilama is smoking on. Let's see if we can get up a little closer. I'm looking even in Prince Kuyo's hand here, so the Kahanu has a box. And Kuyo, you'll see later, has a cigar. Can you see the cigar?
Oh, yeah.
Then you see the plate and the box. Maybe that's a box of cigars. It's time to relax. And Kukui Lama with his pipe. And as you know, he has the same clothing here as he had as you saw him on his horse, by his horse. The same clothes. So that photo, and the photographer in those days, you can't just take your iPhone and snap pictures, right? You have to have a special photographer with a special camera. Not that easy. So this is how these kinds of photos end up in such a collection as the Kawana Nakua collection. And of course, if you're interested in the Spanish influence and our cowboys, you see the kind of leggings he had. There are different kinds of leggings. I don't know what the Spanish name for that kind of legging is. The rope, the neck rope, of course you can see black and white. We had the other day exhibits of kaulahulu. Kaulahulu made out of horsehair from the tail of the horses, and only for fancy and for neck, not for roping, but for neck rope. And of course the lala and that kind of style of the Spanish influence saddle. And this is Kukui Lama because of the legging. It's hard to tell, it's so dark. And they're up already on the mountainside. They have rifles. They're gonna go hunting. They have rifles. Let me close them. Come in a little closer. I don't know what that bundle looks like. Is that a can? As an umbrella and the rifles. Within Princess Kanda, the lady has a rifle in her hand. Anyway, they gun hunting. You get wild cattle, wild pig, wild sheep, whatever game, up on the slopes. So, a vacation to get away from the hustle and bustle.